guys, it's Aubrey. Today I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to survive AP Bio. If you're watching this, you're probably like, how am I going to survive this year with Miss Bennett? This class is going to be hard and I just don't know what I got myself into. That's why I'm here. I made a whole PowerPoint on ways to help you and I'm going to share them with you today. It's not as hard as it seems if you actually use my tips, because I just already lived through what you're about to live through. Let's get into the video. This video is all over the place, but I don't really know how to organize my thoughts. Okay, so for my experience in the class, I did pretty good. I had A's every quarter, I'm pretty sure. I did not have a good biology teacher, but Miss Bennett is a good biology teacher, so I learned most things from her. I'm also not the brightest bulb in the world, so you don't have to be the smartest person ever to be in this class, because I was in this class. But I am a good student and I pay attention and I am respectful, so try to do that. Try to be a good student. Okay, so usually how the class goes is Miss Bennett will give you the notes that you'll do for homework, then she'll go over the PowerPoint most likely, lecture you, then you'll probably do the lab, probably do a case study, and then you'll end that unit with a test, which that was usually how it went in the class. So the first thing I'm going to cover is how to do your homework the best you can and how to learn from it the most. Okay, so for homework, Miss Bennett will give you a sheet that will give you multiple ways on how to learn the next unit. I'll put an example here. She gives you a PowerPoint on the topic, the textbook pages for that unit, different videos to learn different parts of the unit, and then questions to check your understanding. I recommend to read the book. It's not that hard. Just take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, read the whole unit. This isn't the book, I already returned to school, but read it because it covers the most amount of information. I would skim through the PowerPoint, watch a couple of the videos and try to understand, and I wouldn't because I didn't cover as much information. And when you get the test, the test covers so much information, and if I had just read and actually understood the book, I would have done fine. But I didn't know all of the information, so I didn't do very well. And take the time to actually understand what you're reading. If you don't understand a word, look it up. The next topic is how to learn from lectures. Okay, so I gave the worst explanation possible for this one, so just bear with me here. So this is a good one because I literally had the hardest time staying awake during lectures. Not staying awake, just getting my mind focused. And Miss Bennett, I recommend just staying with Miss Bennett, just stare at the screen. Just stare at the screen and just take in all the words she's saying, because as the second I would look over at something else, or my mind would go off into imaginary land, I don't know. I would just I could never get back on topic with Miss Bennett. She would be talking about evolution and I would be oh yeah, I'm understanding, oh, what am I gonna have for dinner? And then I would never get back on with Miss Bennett. I would literally have no clue what she was saying. Try your hardest to not think about anything but Miss Bennett and what she is saying. That's literally the only tip I have for that, because that was my biggest issue. Okay, so now I'm going to go over how to prepare for tests. Again, the textbook, all the information in one area. I recommend reading it. It's a really good one. It's slightly boring, but you won't regret it because you will get the most amount of information as possible. Watching a little video on one little tiny subtopic of the unit, not gonna do anything. The textbook has everything, literally. I cannot stress that enough because that was my issue last year. Okay, also just expect her tests to be hard. They cover so much information. It's so hard, but you got it if you just read the textbook, because it'll just make 10 times more sense. Okay, so next I'm going to cover how to do your best in labs and projects. So before you start a lab, understand it, obviously. Read through it, just make sure you understand it. The book will help you with that because you'll understand the unit you're in, so you'll understand how this lab relates to this unit, and it'll just be so much easier if you just read the textbook. Okay, so last year, I don't know if this is how Miss Bennett will do it this year, but last year our projects were always case studies on the lab we did. So obviously pay attention to the lab, then you'll do good on the project. and actually understand the lab before you do the project. Be there for the lab, don't be absent. That's all I got. Okay, so here's a little like tidbit. I recommend using PowerPoint for your tables and your graphs for your projects. They just make everything look prettier. That's what I did, and mine turned out beautiful. Next is time management. If you're in this AP class, you're probably in other AP classes, so time can be important with like all your extracurriculars, but this class shouldn't really affect a lot. She gives you more than enough time to do the homework notes, and like she tells you when you're gonna have tests, and she gives you enough time to study, so I don't think it should be a problem. Just don't procrastinate. So now we're on to dealing with Miss Bennett. So Miss Bennett, very reasonable. A lot of people find her annoying. It's not the case, guys. She's just reasonable. If you do something to get on her nerves, she's gonna call you out. Like, don't get all defensive when she calls you out for doing something stupid, like being in the lab when you weren't supposed to. Like, you weren't supposed to be there, so like, why are you surprised that she's yelling at you? So next, I'm going to talk about how I get past being discouraged or frustrated. That would mainly happen before tests. So I just go read the textbook, make me feel better, because it had all the information in it. A deer! Oh wait, it's running down my driveway. I missed it. No, don't go on the road. Oh, it's running back. Good. It's good, everyone. So now I'm going to talk about how to stay motivated. So I would just think about how in a week or two I'd be on to the next unit and I would have a fresh start, because it doesn't really like build on anything. It's a fresh start every unit, so that's how I got through it. Okay, so when it comes to studying for the AP test, you're going to want to get an account on AP College Board. You probably already have one if you've taken an AP test or the PSAT. So get an account on there because it's a really good resource for studying, and Miss Bennett also gives you like questions on there to do just like throughout the year to like help you and check your understanding. And so you can practice multiple choice questions, FRQs, and it'll grade it for you, so you have like the answers and like the explanation. So that's just a really good resource for not even just the AP test studying, but like for just like the whole class itself. So in this class, Miss Bennett is like your best friend. Like, go to her during hard time, she'll help you. Ask her any questions, she'll help you. She's not scary. She's probably shorter than you. I don't know. She's always there to help. She likes AP kids more than any other class, so she'll probably just help you over any other class. Okay, so how to take notes successfully. Just understand them. That's literally it. If you understand them, you don't even have to write them down. I'd recommend writing them down so you can look back on them for reference. But if you understand them, then that's how you're gonna get the most out of your notes. Here's some of my notes. These are from the first unit. Not too exciting. I don't know why I'm showing you them. I'm gonna show you some of the labs we did. Lots of food labs, so get ready. So we have the double stuffed Oreo lab. I think this was the first lab we did. And then we did the M&M statistics lab. Then we did properties of H2O lab and the diet and the evolution of salivary amylase lab. And then we also did like a lab where we ate this berry that like changed our taste buds. So like everything we ate was like sweet instead of sour. So labs are a big thing in that class. They're pretty fun. Okay, so one of the like topics is how to handle sleep or sleeping in class. Don't, or pick a good day to do it if you're going to. Sleep in your least important class. AP Bio is probably not one. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. I don't think I ever fell asleep actually in that class, which it was the last class of the day, so that's pretty good for me. Okay, so these next tips are just being released out of my brain right now. I'm coming up with them as I go, so enjoy. Miss Bennett hates late work. She puts it at the bottom of her pile. Your paper will be the last to be graded, so just don't be late. You also kind of have to keep Miss Bennett on track because, I mean, it's not just Miss Bennett, but like the class too like contributes to this, like getting behind when you have an AP test coming up. So try to get your work done in like the least amount of time as possible, because the more time you take up, the less time you'll have to do other units, and then you'll you won't have all the information for the AP test, and then you'll be screwed. So if Miss Bennett gives you like 5 days to do an assignment, and you can as a class can like do it in like 4 or 3, like tell her, like don't just like drag it on and like not work for 3 days and then do it in the last 2. Just like tell Miss Bennett, like, we have enough time to do that, because then you can move on and you can be done with that activity and you'll have more time to cover more things. So don't let Miss Bennett give you extra time on things you don't need extra time on. Okay, so Crash Course and Bozeman Science or something like that, they are 2 really good resources. They have really good videos that I would recommend watching after you read the textbook, because they also give good information. Most of the questions on the tests are comprehension and application questions, so like just memorizing main like points isn't gonna like do much. So just like read the textbook, because it'll give you so much information, but don't just memorize it, actually understand it. I think I'm done here. I don't really know what else to add. So the main thing I want you to take away from this video is to read the textbook. Say it with me, everyone. Read the textbook. Hopefully you're sitting in a classroom right now and not at home online learning. I hope this video helped you in some way. Have a great day and year. Bye, guys.